back. Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Luca Majno. I shouldn't say good evening because it could be morning or it could be afternoon or it could be night. But we say hello to everybody. We're back. This is Luca Majno with Frank Gregory Ford. And this is Global News Update on TLBTV, courtesy of the Liberty Beacon Project, where we give you complete, backstage, and up-to-date info as to the developments occurring in our world today. And welcome again from California, Greg. How's everything today?
Today was an exceptional day, and I've got a lot to share with our listeners.
Yeah, we dropped a bombshell by accident yesterday. I had brought something to the table, and it's exploded in our hands, literally.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do to start off the show with SNAPSHOT and do a little refresher course very quickly, and Greg will get things rolling after that. Get things rolling with a snapshot of these two. And everybody was telling me that it was just a presidential shake hands, and that's all it was. And no, I knew from that time what was going, what was coming our way, because it's very obvious that, Trump is there to do the bidding of the Rothschilds, which is basically Israel, right? And this is the whole idea. And there's that meme with the man and the woman walking together. I believe, the man is the USA and the woman is Israel, and they have all these dogs following them. I'm going to see if I can find that to fit that in, because this is really what it is. It's kissing ass, and it's kissing ass to the king of terrorism, because that's where terrorism was born. And that's not just my quote. A lot of people like Christopher Bolin and other people that have known history, David Icke is another. They know where terrorism started, and something very disturbing from David Rockefeller shows. And if people want to put it on pause, they can. I don't have to read it the whole way through, but it's all about thanking the Washington Post, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and other great publications for their discretion for almost 40 years. In other words, for their lying or their, holding back information for 40 years, so that the Bilderbergs could, just do what they want and keep doing what they want behind closed doors. So everybody was basically complicit from the very beginning, from the get-go. Everyone is at a different level of consciousness. All you have to do is speak your truth, and if they don't want it, move on. You can't convince a baby to walk when they're in the crawling stages. And this is basically where people are at. There are different levels of consciousness. Some are completely stuck in cognitive dissonance, and there's nothing you can do for them. Other people want to learn so bad that they'll stick by your side and you can't get rid of them. It's there's a lot of opposite ends of the spectrum and a lot in between. Greg, what we were talking about yesterday about the Agenda 21 depopulation of rural areas, it has begun officially. Any comment on that?
Thank you for bringing that out. Most people have no idea what Agenda 21 is, and if you would explain it, I think it would be really, beneficial. Okay, so and I think the numbers you gave me for the U.S. is by the year 2000. What was it?
32. Yes, 2032.
2032. We're supposed to have a population shrunk to, what was it, 65 million?
Okay. The quote that I have is the 235 million that we have today will be shrunk to 67 to 69 million by 2032.
Okay, goodness. That's not far off. Okay. In other words, most of us who have children will have those children at least see this genocide happening. Okay. Now, it won't be called something as mechanical as genocide by our new world order, such as they are, but basically they will see it underway, if not get caught up in it.
Yeah.
Hard to think about now. All right.
And also for the next show, I'm going to be showing a slide from the city of Santa Rosa,
Yes.
showing the internal wheels going, and everybody knows what's going on. And some people are going, "Wow, are they that brave? Are they that bold?" A lot of people are knowing what's going on, but they don't say anything, and they keep their job. And so there's a lot of whistleblowers coming out, and we're going to talk about one after this. Very quickly to finish, snapshot. I have a cough tonight too. Just to lighten things up a bit, I had to throw this one in. Arguing with the Zionists is like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. So,
My goodness.
that's my little wink, wink, oink, oink for tonight.
Okay.
The Russians did it.
Oh yeah, cute little puppy, huh? All right.
Something happened when you were gone. The Russians did it.
Well, hey, for all our listeners who love border collies, that's the border collie picture.
There you go.
So, okay, absolutely. Okay, now, are you interested? Do you think our listeners are interested in what I have to say tonight?
I think we're itching to find out what's going on. You have
Okay.
more. You have more on the Oklahoma City bombing. There was one quote that I threw on the show yesterday about how Oklahoma City bombing was done for two reasons in particular. One was to erase 400,000 files, was it?
Yes,
of
400,000 files of veterans who have been irradiated, okay, from our last battlefield, which I was in. I wonder why when I got back, I turned out the lights at night, and certain parts of my body were glowing. Okay, well, I do know now. Okay, all right. But the first thing I want to get everybody's attention. Does everybody remember the Zodiac killer that was supposed to be in California, running around killing people? About 20 years ago. Well, it's probably the greatest unsolved case of serial killing, probably in the United States. They never caught the guy. They got close. They had an idea, but they never caught him. Well, thanks to my always active, always dazzling, always brilliant intel sources, which I won't reveal at this time. Write the names down, okay? Because I'm going to give you the names of the Zodiac killer, okay? Well, it turns out to be, folks, two killers. And it's very serious because they're both still alive, all right? And they are both located in New York City, which was the place that they could go, blend in, get away with it, with a never-ending investigators that were hot on their trail. Okay, now with high-speed communications and science being what it is, if they can be found, they can be identified, and they are going to spend the rest of their lives in prison or probably be put on death row. All right, the first one, if you're ready to copy, okay, is Ross Sullivan. Okay, Ross Sullivan, and he was terrorizing the Albany, New York area for a while, and then he came out to California. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. While he was at the University of Albany, he met a Lawrence Kane, okay, a Lawrence Kane, and they had something in common. They were both heroin addicts, or became heroin addicts, and they were both sociopathic killers that had a penchant for being smarter than everybody else, or so they thought, and they both specialized in cryptology, okay, the study of cryptography, all right? So, and that's where they got their name, the astral charts, the celestial charts of the zodiac, okay? And these two psychopaths decided that they were going to kill on a lunar cycle. And so every time when the moon was in a certain position, they would kill. And they've killed many, many people in California and some other states too, like Albany, New York. And they were out in California. It got a little too hot for them. And in fact, my beloved aunt, who lives on a sea cliff at Santa Barbara, actually had 2 of the victims murdered below her house. So, and the Zodiac, if they hear this, they will know exactly what the case is, okay? So just wanted everybody to know that, yes, they are still alive, because the investigators now are wondering, have died. No, they haven't died. But they would go for a couple of years, not do anything, and then try to throw everybody off, and then they would kill again. So they are in New York City. They are both white, Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian, okay? And they think they're better than everyone else, which is, you know, psychologists like to tell us that people that are vicious and brutal have some sort of inadequacy about their childhood, okay? Well, no, okay? People that are vicious and brutal and murder other people and set up mass killings of other people. I hope Hillary Clinton's listening to this, because that's what I have to deal with next, is something like this, okay? Is, yes, white, Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian, and they feel they have a right to murder people in a sadistic fashion, okay? And it gives them a sense of entitlement and power. So they're a little older now, all right, but still just as crazy as owl shit, okay? And they are going to kill again as soon as they think that they can blend in New York City, all right? So I just wanted to notify everyone, you know, big question mark is, are they still around? Yes, they are still around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So anyway, let me look at my notes, because I had so much information today. I actually had to take notes.
Well, we were also mentioning last time that Hillary was directly involved with the Oklahoma City bombing. We found that out too. You know, it was the ring around the posy with the Arkansas drug smuggling stuff.
Well, today was a memorable day for me. A fellow, okay, Cherokee Native American, who was in the clandestine trades like me, all right, he has decided that he's probably, and I agree with him, he is a marked man. I want everybody to turn up their microphones, okay, so they can hear this. He feels that way because after he was getting ready to retire from doing things that cause you to have PTSD when you're a operator for the Central Intelligence Agency, and it came down to getting ready to retire, his controller came to him and said, look, something like this. He goes by the name of CODY Golden Elk, okay? And I have a Native American name too, okay? Your listeners can call me Greg Broken Rubber, okay? So that's what my grandfather called me. So anyway, all right, but he told me something very interesting. His controller from the agency, when came to him and said, look, you're going out, you're going to become a civilian contractor. We have a job for you. And the job is this. Everyone knows what this is, all right? This job is, we're going to pay you $1 million to go blow up a federal building. Now, this fellow, okay, is from Oklahoma, all right, and he's near the Cherokee Reservation, and his controller said, see that building on the horizon? That's the Alfred P. Murrah building, and you're going to blow that up. For $1 million, you're going to blow that up. Okay, now I hope that people are listening. I really hope people are listening. And I'm serious, as a heart attack, all right? Because he realized he was actually taken to the federal building. They did a brief walk around, and he realized that there were children in the first floor. And he said, what do you mean, children in this building? And the fellow said, look, that's part of the psych warfare projection, okay? It's great for psych warfare. You need to have kids killed. And I hope every single parent is listening to this that lost a child in the federal building, because here's why, is your child became a number by the psych warfare projection specialists that were intentionally targeting your children in that building to kill them, to turn them into corpses, all right, for the psychological effect. He said, ask them, have you people lost your minds? You people are crazy. And he said, no. He said, there's something in the building we need destroyed in the basement. 400,000 medical files from people, veterans, all veterans that were in the Middle East that were exposed to massive amounts of radiation due to our tank killing ammunition, from helicopters, okay? The 40 millimeter tank rounds, okay, that are tipped with depleted uranium. All right, so what we have is this situation, and I say this with intrepidation because I was right in the middle of those tanks, right in the middle of this killing ground, all right? And I've suspected for a long time I have something wrong, okay? Now, the people that I brought to court, filed charges against about torture and murder and mayhem, they would tell you, yes, there's something wrong with me, okay? But here's the deal, is there are several thousand Gulf War veterans that the term Gulf War syndrome was given to because very non-specific conditions of radiation poisoning were happening. That information was stalled, and now there's a movie by Greg Lovett, the producer. It's called Deny, Lie, and Then Hope You Die, okay? That's what our government is, how it's treating our veterans that have gone to fight, okay, in the Middle East. So those 400,000 medical records were in the basement of the Murrah building. And secondly, the information concerning the Clintons, right, my favorite subject, that lying, thieving, murdering, serial killer, sociopath, bitch, okay, and I say bitch and I enhance that, all right, okay, drug running, okay, we have an opium epidemic in this country. Guess who's responsible, okay? Well, the information from the CIA that they were supporting the Clintons, and the Clintons were supporting drug running as being done by Barry Seal, a CIA operative in Mena, Arkansas, as I've said to you all along, okay, that information was in the basement, along with the 400,000 medical records, right, okay? Well, of course, who do the Clintons work for? They work for the Bushes. Who else would be so monstrous, okay? And I'm sure, by the way, I'm sure from what I found out today, that William Casey, the now deceased former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, has made extensive recordings concerning this issue and the Clintons, all right? And he passed away. So what we have is Hillary Clinton putting into action, not Bill, not that tousle-haired scamp that we all love, okay, murderous scamp that we all just think is so great, okay? And also, I confirmed today, just here's a little tidbit to keep you interested in this long-winded story, all right? Here's a little tidbit. Monica Lewinsky, oi, oi, okay, Mossad operative.
Nice.
Put in front of Bill, enticed Bill, okay, by guess who? Hillary Clinton. You got it. You have got it. Okay. That's the big secret, folks. Okay. I had to throw a little sex in there. There's always a sex interest somewhere. Okay. So that's the deal. Monica Lewinsky was trained and she was following by a controller, probably Hillary Clinton, enticed Bill, put him into a compromising position. Okay. And here's the thing that just makes me scream. Okay. I just love this one. You know how much the agency was paying the Clintons for the right to sell massive tons and tons of cocaine, crack cocaine, and whatever you'll have? Okay. It was $10 million a month, tax free. And here, I hope that you think the Clintons are listening now?
That'd be nice.
Because I've got their banking trail established where it went. Okay. Little bank in the Caymans, Bill Hill. Okay. Yes, I know where it went. I know the path. Okay. Where you sent your ill-gotten gains from selling drugs to anybody in the United States that would buy them, including all those kids that were murdered in Mena when they stumbled on some of those drug deals.
Yes.
Okay.
And this gives me a chance to say something, Greg, and thank you for letting me cut in for a minute. Guess who started the drug war? If you can just answer one question, who started the drug war in the United States? Oh, okay. Well, the CIA says, well, you know what? The best way to break up the family, the sacred family values, you're basically doing what the protocols are saying. If you follow the protocols one after the other, that's basically what they want to do anyway. Break up the family unit, pit one person against another. They drop off crack cocaine in the minority districts of various cities, LA, Chicago, you know, this is what they do. So if anybody wants to know where this opioid epidemic, like Greg likes talking about, where that really originates, everybody thinks, oh, overseas. No. The CIA has been destroying this country from within. And I think, I don't think I'm wrong by saying that, Greg. I think you could probably back that one up.
Remember, for your listeners, I spent a couple of years out of my life sailing around the Caribbean, chasing drug smugglers and going ashore on the Sal Bank. Okay. You probably don't know where that is. Most people have no idea. Everybody's seen it though. If you've seen Gilligan's Island, you've seen it. Okay. That's Gilligan's Island in the beginning. All right. Well, there's no one that lives there, but it's funny when you go ashore, here's all these training grounds for, Cuban mercenaries. Okay. Now, and then to the south, right offshore towards Colombia, there are all these oil drilling platforms from Zapata Oil. Okay. So I'm getting virtually everything I've told you folks was confirmed today. All right. It's hard to get confirmation in super secret operations, where you're selling little kids drugs on a playground, okay, to support your covert operations. All right. That's what we have here. Okay. So what we have is a very, very bad situation where Hillary Clinton ordered the destruction of all the evidence. First of all, so the Bush clientele, okay, could start more wars without having a huge money outlay, okay, to take care of all those stupid sons of bitches that were stupid enough to get themselves irradiated in the first Gulf War, okay. Well, all right. So Hillary, if you notice, and I want everybody to listen because I'm talking several 100,000 people affected, all right, with this situation. Well, right after the Merle building bombing, notice how the government quit talking about settling up, not being ridiculous, and actually not paying for all these wounded, disabled veterans that were producing disabled children, Okay. It turns out radiation tends to manifest itself in the thyroid gland and your reproductive glands and organs. Okay. So I want everybody to realize that that's where it stays. That's where it manifests itself. And we're talking several 100,000 people here. Well, you just got an answer. Okay. The government can't, fight it, can't refute it. They're trying to now because I'm leading the way towards the burn pit issue. They're really trying, okay, to deny the fact that nerve agents were thrown into the burn pits. Okay, so as of today, though, I needed confirmation on who would blow up that building. Okay.
Wouldn't it be the same person that was directly involved in Waco as well?
Yes. Yes. How'd you know that? Please, I want our listeners remind me. I'll bring up Waco. All right, because what really happened in Waco, nobody's even come close to saying. I'll give you a little teaser, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. You think everybody was alive when that engineering vehicle crashed through the wall and pumped in chemical spray to ignite everything? You think anybody was alive in those buildings? Afraid not. Afraid not. Just think about that. What, 75 people in those buildings burned alive? No, afraid not. They were dead the night before. Okay? Funny, when I was being informed of this today, funny how all my electronics started acting very strangely. Okay? So what we have here is the guy turns the assignment down and what they asked him to do, and now I'm going to give you the exact demolition sequence of what happened at the Oklahoma City, okay, federal building. All right. No, the Ryder truck did not blow up and cut the building in half. All right. And I confirmed that when I was in North Dakota attending a school, and they said, no, it did, ammonium nitrate does not detonate like that with that much power. Okay. That had to have been a custom made bomb. Now, yes, it blew the truck up, did a fine job. Okay, it was probably fertilizer, wink, wink, fertilizer. Okay. Well, I worked with tons and tons of ammonia nitrate fertilizer. Okay. It doesn't come in little bags with a happy farmer on the front. Okay. No, it comes in olive green tubes. And that's used for cratering, specific jobs of cratering, like on runways and so forth. Okay, distant runways. So what we have is a situation where the Ryder truck, and what do I say about operations, Luca? They always have a redirect. They always have a distraction. That's what we have here. And Timothy McVeigh, do you think Timothy McVeigh actually did this? Okay, quote, a loser who couldn't figure out anything, right? Well, wrong, all right? Because he was asked to bring in demolition equipment at Waco, okay? Funny thing, at Waco? How'd this happen? Well, he was working for these people in this operation. And what we have here is a big question mark. Well, wasn't Timothy McVeigh executed? Well, let me see.
I got
a statement from his lawyer, who is very upset now that this question has come out. And the nurse that took the body out swore up and down it was still breathing when it was taken out of the execution room in Terre Haute, Indiana. All right. And yes, this was a patsy job. Have you heard that term? Unless you're older than 2 years old, you know what a patsy is, right? If you don't believe me, look up the story of Kennedy. Well, he didn't do it. And the deal he was offered was something like this. we're gonna put you to sleep in front of everybody. Everybody's gonna be thrilled that you were executed. Then we are going to wake you up. Say what? Say what?
Mm.
Now that I know what kind of people are in charge of this business in our country, don't ever trust them, especially when they say, trust me, okay? Guess what? That's what happened to Timothy McVeigh. He was working for them, and he also took the night vision devices to Waco the night before. They machine gunned everyone in that building. They were dead. Kids, everyone. Notice how all the bodies were found on the lower floor of Waco. There was nobody in the top 2 floors. That's because they were machine gunned. That is a standard special forces operation for building clearing. Drive everyone down from the upper floors where you can't get shot by their snipers because you can shoot farther in the higher floors. You drive them down into the lower floors, all right? And then you, with simple ball ammunition and night vision devices, you completely saturate that lower floor with gunfire, okay? Did you see any people on the day, what was it? And I believe it was in May, when the Waco building ignited? You didn't see anybody running around. You didn't see, a bunch of people shooting back because there was nobody alive in the building. And it was Timothy McVeigh who brought the night vision goggles to those forces, okay, special forces surrounding them, okay, surrounding the buildings in Waco. Yeah, he was upset about it, okay. So what we have now is a blast sequence at Oklahoma City. And it goes like this, okay? There were 3 specialized compressed gas bombs, just like the Hezbollah used in the Beirut bombing, the Marine Corps barracks Beirut bombing, okay? Those compressed gas bombs look something like this. 2 tanks of gas, inert gas, it doesn't explode, inert gas, sitting on top of a marble sheet with shaped charges, probably C4 or C5, okay, and a PETN detonating system, okay? That's what those bombs look like, all right? 1 bomb took down the entire Marine Corps barracks in Beirut, Lebanon, and killed 300 people, okay? There were 3 in the Murrah building, all right? Yes, the fertilizer bomb went off, okay? Great, huh? The fertilizer bomb went off. Everybody looks. What was that? What do? They come close to the windows to see where that explosive was, okay? It stimulates all and turns on all the cameras, all right? Then the bomb inside the front entrance goes off, all right? Yes, that's why no children survived. Can I make it any simpler?
That's why no children, we just got cut off.
Okay, no children survived. That I know of, no children survived, okay? And then the last 2 bombs were supposed to go off at that point. The first bomb actually defaulted the last 2 bombs with its explosion. So those 2 bombs are sitting there alive.
Right.
They're sitting there alive, and they were supposed to pancake the building. Everything was supposed to go down, all right? Fall, okay? Kind of like the World Trade Center, okay? Which, how many buildings have done that before and since, Luca? 0, all right? So that's what we have.
I remember even Timothy McVeigh. I remember even Ted Gunderson saying that an unexploded bomb with the U.S. Army stamp was taken out of the building.
Yes, you're right. And the irony, okay, about that is something like this, is a policeman who was doing his job went into the building after the explosion, saw the 2 bombs, okay, saw those two bombs. They were sitting there. He was from the military. He took one look and said, OMG, everybody out of the building. He probably saved several more people before they could figure out how to detonate those bombs.
Yeah.
Okay. He probably saved several hundred lives. Well, he didn't make it. Okay. Most people don't know about this, but that black policeman, okay, African American policeman being PC, it got everybody out, saved all the people that he could. And then, of course, he was immediately blackballed by his own department, told to shut up about it. And of course, in the meantime, there was film footage of the specialty demolition crews, contractors, wink, wink, okay, running in with cranes to move those bombs out and get them out of everyone's sight. Okay.
There you go.
That was, yeah, there it is. It's filmed. Well, about another month and a half later, that policeman was found dead. His car was covered with blood. His cruiser was covered in blood. He was sliced to pieces, and he was shot in the back of the head. Okay. That sounds like a Arkancided case.
Exactly.
Case for Arkancide.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And who else could do something like that but the Clintons? Okay. So what we have here is this man who is not just giving you a condensed version, our listeners a condensed version like I'm doing. He has it all notated, accounted for, recorded, pictures, names, dates, canceled checks. He has everything. You know, if I were you, Hillary Clinton, I would turn myself in, okay? And then go out and don't worry, you'll get some good time at the Frontera Prison for Women in California, okay? Or maybe you can go where Patty Hearst went, to the Pleasanton Female Penitentiary, okay? They have a 9-hole golf course there, all right? So Bill can come and see you there, and President George H.W. Bush can see you there, and you can all play around the golf, okay? So, but guess who did this? It was Hillary Clinton. Okay, we've got it. And why would this fellow come forward, a fellow Native American, why would he come forward? Okay, why would he do this? Is because when he refused to slaughter children, he was a marked man. Okay?
COINTELPRO.
He's smarter than I am, by far. I actually trusted the people I went to war with, and you can see how it happened. And by the way, if you don't believe that, go look in the group Booz Allen Hamilton and ask to speak to their intelligence section, their 6-3 intelligence section group, all right? Ask them about, and funny, this guy even brought this up, the special weapons that were given to Saddam Hussein that were made for dispersing anthrax, weaponized anthrax, okay? I'm sorry if I have to emphasize this, because I find that if you don't, people just overlook it, all right? But anthrax, and where was it from? Oh, I have it right here. Anthrax from Fort Detrick. So somebody was giving Saddam Hussein, a CIA operative, biological warfare from Fort Detrick. That's not Fort Detrick, Australia. That's not Fort Detrick, France. Okay, that is Fort Detrick, Maryland, people.
Sounds like somebody with a H before the group name, maybe?
Yeah, you have got it.
Cheney,
okay.
Halliburton. Okay.
Right. So I've got all kinds of my associate journalists investigating now as a result, and they're viewing this footage, and it is going to be rather spectacular, the results. Okay. This is, if you're wondering, well, what operations are these? Okay. You have, and then this was named after the Rose law firm, wink, wink. Okay. That's where Hillary worked. That was the Operation Rose in Oklahoma City, where how many people were slaughtered? you know, a couple hundred. All right.
Amazing. Yeah.
It was, and I was told this today. Yes, it was a ground zero warm up for 9/11.
Yeah. A test run.
Yes, you got it. 9/11. And remember, everybody's heard this ad nauseum. I was in North Dakota when the instructors told me that the feds had shown up saying, what kind of bombs could Timothy McVeigh have made that could have done that kind of damage? They didn't know, but they would know at this course, okay, that I was attending. So we have, and then when they asked me, they said, you were in the Navy, right? Okay, why would the Israelis come here and be using all our supplies of thermite? Thermite, folks.
Yeah.
God, I thought when I was in the Navy, I'd never hear that term even repeated. All of a sudden, here it is a few years later, and it is the term to know, thanks to Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's great. It's great because everything's coming out. Everything is coming out. My grandmother told me never to lie in life because everything comes out, no matter what. Yeah. The Grenfell Tower. Yes.
Grenfell Towers. Okay,
Right.
folks. The other building that burned for hours,
Yes.
immolated 38 people, and is still standing.
He's on a roll again. Greg, we're out of time, though. I wish we could keep going, but
oh no! Hey, tell Roger the people need to know this. Okay.
Yeah. It's important.
So it's important. Okay, because this is treason.
Yeah.
Murderous, high-level treason. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is what started it. And we've got the fella coming out now who was offered the $1 million contract to blow it up. Yeah. That's how important this is. All right. So with the evidence that's here, we can, if Mueller was worth a shit, okay, we could demand that Mueller go arrest Hillary Clinton and put her into jail. Okay. Give her some orange coveralls and put her into jail and make sure she learned a real skill. Okay. Right. She should be making license plates at Leavenworth. Okay. Or Frontera. I don't care. All right. So the thing is we've got the start of the opium epidemic. Okay. And we've got the Clintons making millions and millions and millions of dollars from drugs being brought in on their watch, people dying right and left. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then as a result, though, okay, all right, we have a situation where, oh, by the way, I found out something more. Okay. We found out that Timothy McVeigh had something that I've never heard of before, but it was supposed to be for intelligence people. Okay. Anybody see, what was it, James Bond this last time around? What was it? Something Solace. Okay. Quantity of Solace. Well, where he had a computer chip injected into his arm.
Right.
Well, guess what they found when they supposedly arrested Mr. Timothy McVeigh? They found transmitting microchips in his body. And so what that opened up today, the first time I've heard about it, this is called the CIA Beast System of Tracking Personnel. Now, where have we heard this before? Now, haven't we heard several big businesses say they want to implant computer chips?
Yes. It started in Sweden already. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that is one of the major reasons why the program, what was it? Oh, I know. The program, okay, Oklahoma City. Write this name down, everybody. Oklahoma City was named Operation Rose, okay, for the Rose Law Firm. By the way, I wonder what was going on at the Rose Law Firm, because Hillary Clinton, who worked there, okay, a bright star, I'm sure, in their operations. Hillary Clinton worked there with Vince Foster, who was murdered, okay, and what happened then was okay, the Oklahoma City bombing happened as a result. That was the Operation Rose. The second operation was 9/11 WTC. Now, is there anybody out there that's stupid enough to think that, what was it, 17 hijackers flew planes into the World Trade Center? I really want to hear from those people.
Mm.
You know, okay, I really do. All right, but if you think like me, don't call in. Hey, just be satisfied. That's called Operation Bridge. That was Operation Bridge, and then okay, the operation to get in and overthrow a whole country, okay, illegally. What this is highly illegal, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's called prearranged aggression against a autonomous country.
Yeah.
Okay, prearranged aggression, highly illegal. Okay, that means you're basically planning to overthrow any country that you want to get a hold of. Okay, that's what we did with Iraq, and that operation, you'll never hear this anywhere but here, was Operation. I just love this name. Okay, when I name operations, I try to give them a decent name. Okay, this was Operation Screw Worm. Okay, anybody write that down? Operation Screw Worm. Okay, who thinks these things up? You know, the people that were in the Leave No Imbecile Behind program.
There you go.
Created by George and Neil Bush. Okay, only they could think of something idiotic like that. So what we have here, we have the order, paperwork even, from Hillary Clinton to do domestic terrorism and destroy the Murrah building, federal building, okay, to destroy all those medical records of the first Gulf War victims, okay? So the government didn't want to pay that. And who was that done? You know, who when this happened, who was responsible for that? Well, the explosion was by Bill Clinton, okay? He was the president with his wife ordering this. And when was the first Gulf War? Who was the president under that? The kinder, gentler man, as we know him. Okay, when the sheikhs and the Kuwaitis offered, the sheikhs of Saudi Arabia and the Kuwaitis offered to pay every single person that had been irradiated and fought to free Saudi Arabia from this threat. Well, the princes and the emirs said, hey, we will pay every single person that fought $75,000 so you can go save your home. You can go save your home and pay off your student loan. Well, who said George, what? But only George Bush could do this. He said, no, we're not going to accept the money. We are not going to accept the money. Funny. And he said that we don't send mercenaries around the world. Okay. Which brings me to something very interesting now. Donald Trump. Now, everybody thinks they know who his security advisor is, national security advisor. You don't know, okay? The first one's under indictment right now, okay? My old boss, Flynn, okay? He's under indictment, all right? And I'm sure he's going to start singing. And secondly, okay, who else? Anybody else? You know, Kelly, Xenophon Kelly, General, okay? No, he's not really the advisor. Could it be Jared Kushner? That's a close one. Okay. Well, Jared Kushner is Donald Trump's controller. Okay. All intelligence agents, all spies have controllers. Can't have these people wandering all over the countryside making this stuff up. Okay. So, yes, Jared Kushner is the Mossad's controller of Trump. All right. But now, who is his advisor, as I just asked? Here, write this name down. Okay. Here it comes, folks. Eric Prince. Anybody know Eric Prince, Luca?
Blackwater.
Wait, now that the head, the little spoiled halfwit, okay, from Amway fame, whose sister is head of, what is it, the Department of Education, Betsy, okay.
Mhm.
Now, this guy is famous for starting up a mercenary operation, and he is the advisor to Donald Trump
Terrorist
on how
advisor,
to.
terrorism advisor, right?
Now, now I know this is a fact. Okay, no, he's on national defense. He's his advisor. I saw Eric Prince yesterday tell a panel, okay, that ordered him in for questioning. Uh, they demanded to know about certain operations and aspects,
Mhm.
like how is he going to fight ISIS? Okay,
Yeah,
say ISIS, our own operational group, he's
right.
going to fight him. Well, he looks at him and sneers. Hey, I just flew 3 hours for this bunch of nonsense. We better wrap it up, gentlemen. I'm not staying, 5 minutes longer. I'm out of here. Oh, that's the advisor to the
Mhm.
president of the United States, quote, the most powerful country in the world. All right, we are in trouble. Now, didn't Donald Trump say he knew who did 9/11 and he was going to tell everyone he knew who did 9/11? Has he told anyone? Guess what? Oi, oi. No, he's there right now, okay, actually creating havoc, mayhem, and chaos in the Middle East by doing something as ridiculous and unbelievable as declaring some of the most sacred ground in the Middle East, the capital of Israel, Jerusalem.
Mhm.
All right. So I've got a lot more to say about that too.
Next show.
Okay.
Next show.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. But there we have it. All right. And we are going to hear uh, something very interesting. Okay. The next show. All right. We do have to wrap it up. But I've just given all our listeners the capability of demanding Robert Mueller, okay, he indict Hillary Clinton and the Clintons. There's more than enough evidence right now to put them both in prison. Forget this make-believe
It'll
trial.
never happen because Hillary is always threatening them to bring everybody down with her if she goes.
Well,
So
that came up today too. That
yeah,
came up, that issue came up. And guess what? There's a lot of people out there now that know about the pedophile rings. Okay, there it is. That's how she's managed to stay out of trouble, is by molesting, okay, molesting little children and filming it with certain politicians. Right, Don? Wink, wink. Donald Trump, of course. Okay, wink, wink. All right. So there it is. That's how she's managed to stay out of trouble. Okay.
mm,
After last week of burying, just a few days ago, of burying my goddaughter, who was murdered by a pedophile, okay, and then filmed it. And what was he going to do? He was going to sell a snuff film of my goddaughter being strangled to a Hillary Clinton ring, pedophile ring. Okay, so my sense of humor about all of this has gone out the window. All
yeah,
right. So I really am not too afraid of Hillary Clinton's pedophile rings. Okay. And so, as far
good.
as I'm concerned, and all my listeners, I think will agree that yes, she needs to go in prison. She can have her medical conditions in prison at Vacaville, California. They specialize in women, inmates with medical conditions.
Good.
Hey, perfect. There we go. I just straightened out the United States, okay, and we need to knock this crap off about looking the other way, okay. Oh, because they have dirt on this guy, they have dirt on that guy. No, Hillary Clinton was responsible for Oklahoma City domestic terrorism in every sense. Bill knew about it, and those two drug runners, those two opium addicts,
Yep.
okay, are going to pay the price. Okay, and on a closing note, I know how concerned Roger must be about these extended hours that we have, but
No.
here, okay, all right. Everybody's saying, well, gosh, this is all because of George H.W. Bush. All right. Yes. Well, George H.W. Bush knows the end is coming for him, okay? He's getting older, and he knows that those films, those tape sessions that William Casey made, name him specifically as being behind all the issues that we have today, all of them, okay? And he would know. He would know.
Mm.
All right. So what we have here is George H.W. Bush, that wonderful septuagenarian or octogenarian,
Mm.
that what is it? Uh, Grand patrician, okay, politician, okay, fading off into the sunset. He's as dangerous and lethal as he's ever been, venomous as he has ever been.
Mm.
And the thing is, I want to say this, George, so you hear this. Yes, you are going to be held accountable. All right? There is an afterlife, and you are going to be held accountable for what you have done the last 50 years. And the endless wars, this phony baloney terrorism war, how you disrupted the whole world, okay? That's it. All right? You are going to be held accountable. There ain't going to be no saving you. I know there's a special place for you and the rest of your phony baloney little vipers that you call family members. I know there's a special place, especially after what I heard today. Yes, you are guilty, and yes, you are going to meet your maker and your just rewards. That's all I have to say. Anybody have any problems with that? Call. Let us know.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I guess we haven't been aggressive enough because everybody seems to like what we're doing and everybody's following. Nobody's saying anything, so everything's wonderful. Because
I want to see
really,
some people demanding indictments.
They really
right?
can't. They really can't say anything about against the show, Greg, because your experience it just shows when you start talking and what you talk about and how you bring us from point A to G and then back to A again, and we can see a big picture of how everything's connected. So this is really important in the stage for people to wake up. And
now, why would I do this? Okay, I was a pretty good doctor at one time, and I lost my ability to practice when I had my brain damaged by MK Ultra drugs. All right, I think everybody knows this story by now. So how can I contribute, okay, to something that I enjoyed doing but I can't do anymore? Well, this is my way of contributing and helping. All right.
Absolutely.
I don't expect gratitude from anyone, but I do expect action. All right. And this is all we have. Okay, is action. And I ain't gonna sit here and watch a bunch of imbeciles create a bunch of nonstop wars like we're on the very verge of right now in the Middle East and the Far East.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here. Okay.
And
so,
it's good because you've been there and most of the people by first name basis anyway. So it's like what's going on, and we're kind of jumping right in your pot every time we do this show. So, or your little pond, right?
Well, I don't mean to jump up on the stump here. Okay. But there's so much information now that's available that isn't getting out there to the people. And I figure unless you were born in a coma in the last 30 years, you do know about this stuff, but you're probably thinking, what can I do?
Right.
Well, it's real simple. We're all talking on a computer. Well, call your worthless representatives and demand that they take action. And if they don't, okay, they're going to get kicked off the pimp line that Washington is now, and we're going to recall them, or what's another word for it? Okay, impeach. Oh yeah. Well, that didn't work too well because we saw Bill Clinton get impeached. All right, did it affect him? Hell no. Okay.
Probably boosted him.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So it's pretty ridiculous. That was the worst thing that could have happened to him. The American people is he was impeached and nothing happened to him. Okay.
Right.
I watched him give the finger to everybody, the American people, Congress, the Senate, everyone. That's the worst thing. And that encouraged bad behavior, even further bad behavior from the Bushes. So thank you for having me on your show again, Luca. Greatly appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, and it's always an open door, and it's always an education. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time, Greg.
Thank you, Luca, and best to our listeners.